Okay, I believe we are recording now, so fantastic. Okay, just a reminder, this is class is being recorded for learning purposes and all that fun stuff. Okay, remember classroom expectations, follow along with the Nearpod, use the chat tool respectfully and appropriately, and then also respond to questions and instructions the first time. Okay, so we're going to be talking about something that I think is pretty important, especially in today's world. We're going to be talking about identity theft and consumer protection. Before I get into the lesson, I do want to just jump up to the course real quick, kind of go over some things. Remember, I have the classroom recordings on the front page, just on the announcements there. So if you did miss a lesson, please jump in and grab that. If you head over to plan, you will see that we have a couple more things that are due. I'm actually going to be zeroing everything out this Friday. I've been asked to do that just so you know where everybody's at. But I have it scheduled that you should complete everything by the 17th for this class. If you do, then you can have a nice, good break, as you see right here. No, this is only a block class. And then the last day of the class is the 7th. Yeah, I don't know where you got that number from, but basically the end of the class is on the 7th. So if you keep pace, what I would do, honestly, is I'd just do all of these this Friday and then be done. If you can, right? And some people have already gone through the rest of the course and finished it already. So they are all open. So go and do that. But I will be zeroing everything out this coming Friday. Thanks for bringing up that question, though. So basically, you need to do module 13, 14, 15, as we're going to be talking about financial fraud and consumer protection. Okay, the objective is, given quizzes in the OLS, students will accurately answer multiple choice questions about financial schemes and scams with 80% accuracy across one trial. Okay. So first off, a couple things we need to know. Questions that you need to consider, okay? What are consumer rights and responsibilities? So who is a consumer, first off? A consumer is you, okay? If you go and buy something, you are therefore a consumer. You've consumed that item either by purchasing it, eating it's kind of the easiest way because you consume food, right? So that's right. But you have certain rights and responsibilities. But we also have agencies that are to protect consumer potential law agencies, laws and agencies. And then how can I avoid identity theft and fraud? How do I understand financial contracts and what are ways to avoid financial scams? You probably have already heard of different scams and stuff going on. I get probably at least one phone call a day that's a scam call. Okay. You want a $500 gift card to Costco. Please hold while we connect you to a representative. If you do not do this, we will take legal action against you. Hold, and we're person. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you on the phone to be able to get information from you that they can use in order to either steal your identity, steal your credit cards, all kinds of things. My brother-in-law got one recently about his credit card, and it said, hey, your credit card from this institution has been stolen. We are reporting that. please give us a call, right? And they give them a call, but they don't end up being that institution. They're usually, a lot of these fraud, different things like that are happening outside of the country, outside the United States. So it's very hard to kind of get them. A lot come from the Middle East, Africa, all over the place like that. Okay, so what is fraud? Fraud is a deliberate, deceptive design to secure an unfair or unlawful gain. Okay, they're trying to cheat the consumer or cheat somebody. Identity theft or true name fraud. It's someone willfully acquires and uses a consumer's personal identification, credit card, or account information without their permission. So, for example, people are trying to get your full name, your social security number, your address, date of birth, mother's maiden name, PINs, passwords. Okay, we're going to watch a little video about a show, or it was actually a true story about a man that used to steal identities. He actually faked identities. These weren't actually real people, but he made them up. This was back in the 1950s, 60s. So we do not have the technology that we do today to be able to track these criminals, but he was able to fraudulently cash over a couple $1 million in fraudulent checks. He also basically falsely identified himself as an airline pilot, a lawyer, a doctor, a university professor, all kinds of things. And he did this at a very young age, and he was caught and actually put in prison. But it's a very good just kind of indicator of what we're kind of trying to talk about. The video, if you've ever seen it before or want to see it, it is PG-13, so you may want to ask your parents if you can watch it or not. But it is, it's called Catch Me If You Can. There's also a book about it. And actually, my niece actually was in a play that depicted this as well. So pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself and play this little video. It's kind of cool. Yeah, it's a great movie. I highly, highly recommend it. It's one of my favorites. So here we go.
Hello.
Hi. Are you deadheading?
What?
Are you my deadhead to Miami?
What? Yes. Yeah, I'm your deadhead. Here you go.
You're a little late, but the jump seat is open.
You know, it's been a while since I've done this. Which one's the jump seat again?
Have a nice flight. Are you my deadhead?
Frank, Captain Oliver, John Larkin, the co-pilot, Fred Telly, flight engineer.
Frank Taylor, Pan Am. Thanks for giving me a lift, boys.
Go ahead and take a seat, Frank. We're about to push. What kind of equipment you on? DC-8?
707.
You turning around on the red eye?
I'm jumping puddles for the next few months, trying to earn my keep running leapfrogs for the weak and weary.
No shame in that. We all did it.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Would you like a drink after takeoff?
Milk?
80 knots. Check. V1, rotate. V2, positive rate.
All right. So he actually never flew, really. But it's a really good story that kind of tells you kind of a little bit about identity theft. You have people out there that they call con men, right? Competence men. And he was probably one of the greatest ones. Now he actually has made millions and millions of dollars by training people how not to get their identity stolen and how not to be caught in a scam or anything like that. So I'm glad you love this movie. Everybody should put it on their bucket list, I think. Okay, consumer rights and responsibilities, okay? So you have the right as a consumer, as you're buying things, to be safe, to be able to be informed about what's going on, to be able to choose the products that you want, and to be able to be heard if something bad were to happen. But you also have a responsibility to use products safely, to seek information and use to make its decisions, to choose goods and services carefully, and to speak up about your likes and dislikes to be known. And I think we have more of that going on like online as we can rate different companies and stuff like that and do that. But one thing is like sketchy websites, and stuff like that. I mean, I'd kind of look and kind of see what's going on. Make sure you know exactly who you're buying things through, that kind of stuff. So some agencies that are good help and assistance that help us, that protect us, are the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA. They're making sure that things that we eat, vaccinations, that kind of stuff are safe. Consumer Product and Safety Commission. This is one of the big investigations they did is a bunch of companies over in China were putting lead into baby toys. Well, we know babies, they like to suck on their toys, right? So babies were getting lead poisoning, okay? So things like that, making sure that those things are safe. You also have the Federal Trade Commission. That has to do with trading stocks and everything like that. So we'll want to make sure that is kind of appropriate. There's another big scam, like a bunch of scams that people have done by trading and stuff like that. You also have organizations such as those are all government ones. The Better Business Bureau is basically an organization that helps find legitimate companies. The Bureau of Consumer Protection, that's one that you can call and report to. And then there's also some consumer unions that can help out. Here's some other things that protect us. Most banks or credit unions, they do have what's called insurance up to $250,000. So if your account has $250,000 or under in it, it will insure that you up to that amount. So the federal government is. So basically, they don't want you to go and run to that institution and say, I need all my money out because things are going crazy, and put it under your mattress. Nope, they'll insure it for you so we don't have big panics and stuff like that. Okay, here's some ways to identify theft that it's going on. Make sure you're monitoring your credit reports. Okay. Do not give out personal information to unknown people or companies. Protect your credit and debit cards. Protect your mailbox. That's one of the things that's going on right now is people are just going up to mailboxes, or they go to doors and door snatch and try to get that information. Protect your wallet. There was some areas that I've been in before that are known for pickpocketing. So I'd actually put my wallet in my front pocket just to be safe. Use pins, passwords and pins that cannot be easily guessed. That's hard for me. It's and probably don't use the same password either. But then I forget, so I don't know. I don't know what to do. Use antivirus software on your computer. Notify the bank when you make any change, such as address or phone number. Okay. So let's go over the scenario stuff and have you guys put something on here that you expect. Okay. So Bethany purchased a new pair of shoes from the internet. What steps should she take to ensure her identity was protected while making the purchase? Okay. And if you do not have access to the Nearpod, you could feel free to please put that in the new row chat. So what should she do to protect herself? You can't hear anymore? Can anyone else hear me? Okay. It won't allow me to put anything in the Nearpod. It won't? Oh, somebody was able to do it. If you can't put in the Nearpod, please put it in the chat. That'd be great. Sorry if you can't hear. Look at your speakers. Just kind of make sure those are all working. So somebody said, check to make sure the website was real. Do not put personal information such as social security number. Yeah, exactly. A lot of the places, like when you go and put in your credit card and stuff like that, it is a secure site, right? And it makes sure it's secure. Very good. Okay, what are some other things? Like I did want to say that I personally do like companies that are not big companies, but it's important that you find out if they are reputable, right? Yeah, use real sites and think before you click. Yeah, I would definitely say that for sure. Don't go to sketchy lines or sites with bad reputations. Yeah, and sometimes it's hard to do that because things just pop up everywhere and you're like, okay. But I think we know, we can kind of see a little bit because it's not maybe as professional of a site, or we can't, ever get in contact with the person or something like that. So I think there's some things on there that we can really kind of look at. Okay, if you are unaware of what you are doing, consult to someone with more experience. Install ad blockers. Yeah. I think ad blockers are good. Some sites won't run without the ad blockers on them. So that's kind of annoying, but I mean, just do whatever you have to do to kind of keep yourself as safe as you can, right? All right, I'm going to move on. Okay, so scams and schemes. Okay, so a little bit of what we talked about before, like with identity theft and consumer protection. But a scam is a fraudulent or deceptive scheme. Okay, this is a YouTube series that you could watch more on if you'd like to, because I think a lot of people, when they see this, they're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that somebody would actually do this. But they did. So this is a British little mini series, and in Britain, they do have a lot of trouble with people stealing identities, with doing a lot of stuff like that. Stealing things, doing kind of these scams in order to get money. So I want you to see what these guys do here. Now, what they're doing is they're filming it to make people aware. So this is kind of like a public service kind of thing. But I think you guys are going to like this. So watch this and see. I want to know what you guys think.
Jess is in a busy shopping centre promoting a new left luggage facility. And for a limited time only, these lockers are completely free. This is the lockup. With so many people weighed down by bags, it's not long before Jess finds someone to make use of this great offer.
Hiya.
I see you got quite a few bags with you today. Would you like to use one of our free lockers? You can have one each. Yeah, you're welcome. Pop your stuff in there. I don't know if you can shove it all in one, or I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you 2 lockers. There's yours.
Thank you.
And one for you. There you go. Just make sure you're back before 9.
And the other lockers also start filling up. That's a bag of shopping and a backpack.
I'll put all in there. Thank you very much.
That's another bag locked up perfectly safe and secure, not in any danger at all of being stolen by unscrupulous hustlers. 2 hours later, the customers start coming back. But instead of finding Jess, they're faced with a big empty space where the lockers and their bags used to be. They head into a nearby shop to ask if they've seen 40 metal lockers vanishing into thin air. And they're not the only ones wondering where all their belongings have gone. Let's take a look at what they didn't see.
Just here. Yeah.
This was the mall earlier in the day.
Why don't you go just there?
You think so?
Uh-huh.
That'd be nice, yeah. Come on, someone might steal them.
In a matter of minutes, this empty corner of the shopping centre was transformed into the hustlers' left luggage facility.
All right, cup of tea. Bye-bye.
There.
Once Jess had collected as many bags, rucksacks and carriers as she could,
Do you want 2 of them?
it was time to call back the hired muscle.
Ooh, heavy.
And as quickly as the seemingly permanent lockers appeared, they were gone. And along with all those bags, went into the back of the hustler's van, never to be seen again.
There was a lady down there that was having some lockers there for anybody to put their bags inside. And basically my friend put her bag in there. And I was saying, no, I ain't putting my bag in there because I actually come here often. So I've never seen such a thing. So I thought, no way.
I think my passport's in there as well. So I really need my bag. I just can't believe it. I really can't.
Hustlers are always looking for ways to separate you from your belongings. And there's nothing they like better than finding a way to get you to give them your stuff.
Anytime you have to leave your luggage in lockers, make sure you're using reputable facilities like at a train station and an airport. Of course, if you want to be sure about the safety of your belongings, the best way is to keep them with you at all times.
Whenever you're invited to part with your valuables, whether it's locking them away or depositing them somewhere, if there is something unfamiliar about what you're being asked to do, don't be afraid to double check. If it means going to a shopping centre and say, are these cabinets new? Are they okay? Then do so. Don't be embarrassed about it. It's your money, your goods, your valuables that you're parting with. So just be safe about it.
I think, was that pretty insane that they could get away with that? All right. Well, here's some other things that people have got away with, right? A type of pyramid schemes, probably maybe have heard of those, of a type of financial fraud in which people pay to join an organization in exchange to sell memberships to other people, right? So you've probably seen some pyramid schemes every once in a while. Ponzi scheme, it's closely related to a pyramid scheme, but the promoters generally have no product to sell and pays no commission to investors who recruit new members. So basically, they're usually selling a product that's like artificial that you can't see, such as putting it in, it's like, we're going to invest your money into this wonderful vacation property, and you'll be able to get to go on this vacation once a year, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. My grandma, when she was alive, she got hit by this one. An affinity fraud. It's basically the name of a type of scam that targets a member of a specific demographic. Okay. So if you're looking for a lot of people, unfortunately, target the elderly, and they do that because let's be honest, their minds are kind of going, right? And they do not think through all and consider everything that's going on. So, or different like ethnic groups, religions, that kind of stuff. Dementia, yeah. Fortunately, it's a bad thing. Predatory lending, okay? Here's some warning signs. Basically, predatory lending is basically trying to get somebody hooked into a contract that is just not right, okay? That you pay way too much interest. You're lending them money, but I'd almost say credit cards, right? A lot of them, with their high interest rates, are almost a form of predatory lending, right? That's why you got to be so careful with credit cards that you have the money to pay what you're buying back, right? Yeah, we're gonna skip that part. Okay, so here's some signs that you can look for on predatory lending or mortgages. This one's talking about mortgages. So one, unreasonably high interest rates, okay? Multiple refinancing, unnecessary debt consolidation, balloon payments. So basically it's a low payment for a while and then it goes boom and it just goes up super high if you don't have it paid off there. Negative amortization. So instead of paying towards the principal of the loan, your loan just keeps getting bigger and bigger, okay, if you don't pay enough. Door-to-door solicitation, you know, like honestly, unless I know the person, I'm not going to buy somebody if they come to my door and sell me something. Just not going to happen. Okay. Backdating of documents. If you just say, hey, you know, if you put this date here, then we can get you a little bit extra money. Yeah, don't do that. Don't backdate documents. Okay. It's illegal. Okay. Large loan broker fees. Okay, kickbacks between lender and broker, single premium credit life policies. You don't pay life insurance just one time. There's you have to pay it multiple times, or probably on a monthly or annual basis. So some common scams that you can see are advanced fee scams. So I had a buddy that I was with. I was using a credit card, but we were going through this little small town in Utah, actually. And we're running through, I swipe my credit card, nothing's bad. But what happens there is he swiped his card, right? And you know where it says, do you want cash back, right? And it gives an amount. Well, I think what they did is they switched the buttons on there. So when they pushed it, it said give $20 back. So basically, he pushed it, he put no, but it registered yes. And so what the teller did is when he got that, he'd open up his thing, grab out a $20 bill and put it under the cash register. And then he walked out with a bunch of money at the end of the day. Okay. Watch for those things. You got to be careful. Okay. Prizes that cost you. Okay. Online auctions, fraud jobs, money-making schemes, bogus charities, bogus schools. Okay. How do these work? Skimming. That was something I was talking about, just taking a little bit off the top. Okay. Dumpster diving, if you can believe it. Computer spyware, account redirection, phishing, farming, wireless hacking, stealing, shoulder surfing. All those things you need to look for. Okay, so here's some strategies of how to do it. First of all, don't be a victim. Okay, be proactive in what you're doing. Investigate strangers who have deals that are too good to be true, because there most likely are, right? Always stay in charge of your money. Okay, that's another thing that I've learned too, is when you let somebody else do your money, they're usually going to abuse it, right? Don't be fooled by appearances. Watch for salespeople who prey on fears. Monitor your investments. Report fraud or abuse. Do your homework. Be wary of door-to-door solicitation. Okay. All right. So that's the end of it here. remember, let me just log in again real quick. Okay. Remember, I'm zeroing everything out this Friday. You do kind of have till the 17th to be on track, but the end of the block is the 7th. So you need to get everything done probably by the 5th or so. Okay, so if you are behind, it's all right. We have plenty of time built in to catch up, but I'd rather you have an awesome winter break and not have to do any of that stuff. So, okay, I'll be around to answer any questions or anything like that, but that's class. So appreciate you guys taking the time. See ya.